Good morning and welcome back to the thought of the day. We are moving into chapter 3 of the book of Habakkuk today. We've had 2 complaints from Habakkuk and 2 answers from God, and now we are moving into Habakkuk's prayer that will finish off the book. Quick recap: Habakkuk has been complaining that there is injustice and suffering and wants to know what God is going to do about it. And God has basically said, I'm raising up this wicked nation, but they are going to get their just desserts. And ultimately, it will only be my glory that is left. And so Habakkuk then responds with this prayer that we're going to read now. So we're going to read from chapter 3, verse 1 to verse 15. So let's just read and we'll see what we think. Lord, I have heard of your fame. I stand in awe of your deeds, Lord. Repeat them in our day. In our time, make them known. In wrath, remember mercy. God came from Teman, the Holy One from Mount Paran. His glory covered the heavens, and his praise filled the earth. His splendor was like the sunrise. Rays flashed from his hand where his power was hidden. Plague went before him, pestilence followed his steps. He stood and shook the earth. He looked and made the nations tremble. The ancient mountains crumbled and the age-old hills collapsed, but he marches on forever. I saw the tents of Cushan in distress, the dwellings of Midian in anguish. Were you angry with the rivers, Lord? Was your wrath against the streams? Did you rage against the sea when you rode your horses and your chariots to victory? You uncovered the bow. You called for many arrows. You split the earth with rivers. The mountains saw you and writhed. Torrents of water swept by. The deep roared and lifted its waves on high. Sun and moon stood still in the heavens at the glint of your flying arrows, at the lightning of your flashing spear. In wrath you strode through the earth, and in anger you threshed the nations. You came out to deliver your people, to save your anointed one. You crushed the leader of the land of wickedness. You stripped him from head to foot. With his own spear you pierced his head. With his warriors stormed out to scatters, gloating as though about to devour the wretched who were in hiding. You trampled the sea with your horses, churning the great waters. Habakkuk is reminded of and reiterates these moments in Israel's history where God has made it very clear that he is for his chosen people, that he will destroy anybody that comes against them in dramatic fashion. Habakkuk started by complaining that God wasn't doing the things that he thought he should be doing, that God was letting this wickedness just pass by. And God has said, that's not what's happening. There is a plan, and this wicked nation of Babylon specifically will be put to shame and ruin. And Habakkuk says, you've done all these things before, and I'm ready to see it in my time. And it's a reminder when we are looking to God for change in our circumstances, for justice to come out of injustice, for right to come out of wrong, to look back and remind ourselves, remember where God has been in our corner in the past. Remember all the things God has done for us on a personal level, but also as humanity, to send his son to die for us. Sacrificial death, so that we might be in relationship with God again. Is the ultimate reminder that God is on our side when we're on his, and those who aren't on God's side will feel his wrath, will feel his anger, but he will do it to save his people. So make sure you're one of his people, I suppose. Let's pray. Lord, I thank you that we have the Bible as so many examples of when you have been in the corner of your people, when you have fought for your people. And I pray that when we are in times of doubt, times of questioning, times of anger at the injustice we see in the world, I pray that we will remember the times that you have been in our corner personally. That we will remember the sacrifices that you have made through Jesus' life and death. And that we will be filled with this hope of Jesus' resurrection, of Jesus' return, and the revelation that will come in due time, that will fill the earth with your glory. Amen.